The following is important information you need to know about PTSD. Hey, I'm Dave Ryder from BreakthroughMindsets.com, and I'm a breakthrough mindset specialist, a neuroprogrammer, and a mindsetter. We've worked with people and groups for the past 20 years and all over the world online with people for the past 10 years. And today we're going to be talking about the best therapy for PTSD. PTSD is not just for combat vets. Anybody can experience PTSD. I know I did. When I was 13, I was crossing the street on an intersection on foot, and all of a sudden a station wagon came screaming through the intersection at 53 miles an hour and hit my body so hard that it snapped my femur in half, my upper leg, and it broke my hips. And my body flew so far down the street that when I landed in a crumpled heap, I actually sustained 3 skull fractures. And I am here today to tell you what I know because of what I went through to recover. And I'm here to help you find a better way. Now, it was only a couple of years ago when I arranged to do some training with what was known as one of the best PTSD treatment organizations in the country. And I was shocked when I learned what they were doing for their vets with PTSD. And I'll share that with you in a few minutes. I promise to come back to it. Most people understand PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, as a mental health condition that you get when it's triggered by some terrifying event, or as a psychiatric disorder that can occur when people who have experienced or even witnessed a traumatic event like some natural disaster or a serious accident or even a terrorist attack like 9/11, war or combat, rape, or other violent personal attacks. Back around World War I, it was known as shell shock, but we know that now as a state of shock today. But PTSD doesn't just happen to combat vets, as we just mentioned. It can happen to anyone, including women and children from any ethnic background and from any country in the world. People that experience PTSD have intensely distressing thoughts, feelings, and emotions associated with their experience that endure long after the traumatic event is stopped. They may re-experience that event through dreams of memories, flashbacks, and nightmares. They may feel disconnected and separate from others, leaving them feeling stuck with sadness and anger, rage, fear, and depression. Many people who experience PTSD, they go to great lengths to avoid situations and people that might trigger them, that might remind them of what happened to them, that causes them to re-experience that traumatic event. Many have strong reactions to common everyday things, such as certain smells, loud sounds, even brushing up against somebody by accident. The key to understanding PTSD is in understanding how the brain and the mind works. You don't have PTSD, no one does. PTSD is something that you do. It's something that you produce. That's right. You don't have PTSD, you produce PTSD. Post-trauma or post-traumatic means that it happened in the past, but you continue to re-experience the same trauma over and over again. You already know that. What you may not know is that what you repeat over and over again re-imprints in the mind. It re-imprints the memory over and over again, making it stronger and seem more real through repetition. And we don't want to do that. That's not how to resolve PTSD. Since the event happened in the past, and you can't change the past, being completely free, totally free from PTSD can only be achieved by what you do about it in your mind now. And that's what we do. At Breakthrough Mindsets, we call PTSD memories traumatic stressful events, or TSEs. A TSE is a memory recorded in the brain in a very specific way. And once we know how the TSE is recorded, it's not only possible, but it's quick and easy to change how the brain processes what happened. The only requirements are being ready for change, having a belief that you can indeed change, and making a decision to take action and do something about it. Now, a lot of people have tried all kinds of things that don't work, and that doesn't apply to this situation. Standard treatment for PTSD doesn't address the root cause. Just talking about it and telling the story about the traumatic stressful event doesn't free the mind of PTSD symptoms, emotions, stress, and side effects. In most cases, repeating the same stories is actually harmful, destructive, and toxic for the individual and their families. So it's simple. What you need to do is hit the link in the description to get a free 30-minute consultation with Breakthrough Mindsets with Kim or myself. It doesn't cost you anything, and this means that if you're a combat vet or a rape victim, or you've experienced some kind of emotional abuse growing up or an abusive relationship, then you're in for a really big treat. You can avoid making the problem worse and practicing the same violent stories over and over again in your mind that limit your experience and keep you stuck. And like many others, just reach out and contact us to resolve your trauma and be done with it and move on. It really can be that simple and create the life that you want. So remember that PTSD organization I said I'd come back to? Well, this organization was known for being one of the best in the country for treating PTSD. And when I asked the director what they did exactly for the combat vets, he told me, he said, these guys are going to be struggling with this for the rest of their life. The best we can do for them is get these guys into group counseling every week for the rest of their life. I was blown away. What I learned was the best treatment out there, or the best treatment for PTSD that these guys knew about, was not addressing the PTSD at all, but creating a lifelong traumatic experience. What BS? That stands for belief system, by the way. So if you want to believe that PTSD is difficult or impossible to recover from, if you have to struggle with it for your entire life, then that's what you're going to get. And no one's going to force you to change your mind. And unfortunately for many people out there suffering with PTSD, like myself, no one came back for me because they didn't know what to do and they couldn't help me. Right? And most likely no one's going to come back for you either. But if you are ready and you've made a decision to change your life, if you believe you can change and you just need some help, then contact us for a free 30-minute consultation. We strive to provide the best therapy for PTSD so you can experience a total recovery and be better and wiser for your experience. Make sure to like this video and share it with anyone you know that's suffering from any kind of PTSD. Spread the love and change some lives. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.